way to where I'm at. Behind me there is 434 horsepower, all amped up, that's ready to get out. Look over my shoulder. You will see I have both the engines staged, ready to be taken apart. And by mean apart, I'm going to be swapping all the peripherals on the engines. The flat car, I think I'm pretty sure that the starter and alternator are pooched. While I'm at it, I'm going to swap some other parts too. That's what the next step is. Right now, to give you, maybe just show you around my garage to kind of see what it looks like in here right now. So the donor car is on the one side here, all nicely tucked away. I still am not 100% certain what to do with this thing. I might strip it of parts and store the parts. I might sell it, might sell parts. But until the black Boxster is on the road and running, I'm not going to be doing anything with parts car. So until then, it's just going to be sitting here, and if I need any parts while I reassemble the black one, then I have it here. Up until then, I have some time to decide what to do with it. I'm actually also toying around with the idea of swapping the roofs. I don't know if you remember or not, but the black one here has a busted rear window from when the owner I bought it from in the winter actually had the roof down over the winter, and it was minus 25 degrees Celsius outside when I looked at the car, and when he closed the roof, it was just so cold and brittle, it just broke right across. Other than that, the roof's actually in immaculate condition, as is the one from the parts car. I haven't actually looked into how difficult it is to swap roofs, but that's a project once the car is actually running, because before then it's completely irrelevant if it has a roof or not. Anyway, I got some spare parts here. I got the whole exhaust system, the transaxle is sitting here, and all the other parts are either in the trunks or sitting inside the seat. The black car, I don't know if you have seen the interior of it yet, but the interior of this car is actually in quite good condition, as is the exterior. Looking under the engine here, engine compartment, there's nothing here, everything's taken out. Transmission is sitting here. Plan is to obviously give this a good bath, degrease it and clean it. I just don't want to put on dirty, gross looking parts on this car. The body on this Canadian 17-year-old Boxster is actually in just fantastic shape. There's no rust of any sort, which makes this car completely worth putting back on the road. 17 years old. Pretty amazing that it's in such good shape. Quick story time. My first car was actually a Porsche as well. When I was in high school, I bought a Porsche 914, and that was probably when I bought it. I think it was I remember 71, 72, and when I bought that car, it was probably less than 17 years old. And the body had already been redone, and there was all kinds of rust on that car. Yeah, that was my introduction to cars and Porsches, I guess. And I don't know how many years later, probably 30 years later, there I am, another project Porsche in my garage. But this one only has mechanical issues, no body issues, so I prefer mechanical over rust. Then the plan is to change the IMS bearing on the flat engine that's going back into the black one. Now remember, I still don't know if that engine runs or not. I'm taking a big chance here. That's why I'm changing the IMS bearing on it, just to ensure that at least that part of the engine is changed. Mind you, it's a 17-year-old car. When did the boxes come out? 96, 97. So it's already well over 20-year-old car. That the styling is still pretty spectacular. I keep it on the road. I mean, the engineering is quite old really if you think about it, but the styling is still pretty spectacular, and it's a pretty amazing driving car. Actually, a fact here, I've never even driven a Boxster, so I don't even know what this car drives like. But talking to people and reading and looking at it, and just looking at the specs, mid-engine, rear-wheel drive, it's gonna drive much better than my minivan or my SUV, so I'm not worried about liking or not liking the way this car drives. That is not an issue for me. Let's hope it runs. Still taking a gamble here. Like I said before, I'm gonna say it again, I don't even know if that engine or that flat car is actually in running condition. Maybe the car was sitting somewhere and it was already had an IMS issue and then it was flooded. It's possible. But taking the engine out and looking at the engine, it looked very clean and there was no oil leaks. Yes, it was a very well maintained car. Oh, I also don't know how many miles are on that car. The other thing I'm going to do soon is I will take the instrument cluster out of the flat car, and I'm gonna try to power it up somehow, and hopefully it will give me the last mileage, so I have somewhat of an idea on how many miles are on this engine. Lots of things to do. Moving forward and upward to get this job done. It's a big project, and I gotta be honest, when I dove into this project, even I was intimidated by it, but now having gotten to the point where I'm at, which could be maybe halfway, maybe I'm at the halfway point right now, but it's a big project, but I'm just biting off one bite at a time, and look where I am now. I'm 2 engines out and just ready to swap some parts, order parts, and install some more stuff, and then engine is essentially going back in. Yeah, there you go. If I can do it, you can probably do it too. So let's hop to it. So both Porsches are in my garage. Both Porsches engines are removed, as well as transmissions and all the other associated parts. Just waiting for me to swap the parts on these car engines and put it back in. What I am going to be doing to these engines here, so this one here we're looking at the right and left. So on the right side here, this is the engine from the flat car. And I washed, degreased both engines somewhat, just made them look a little better, because I really don't like working in dirty engines. The plan, the next step of attack is I'm going to strip both motors of their peripherals, and that being intake manifolds, fuel rails, starters, alternators. Going to take a water pump off. Haven't decided what to do with the power steering pump yet. What else do I'm going to be taking off this thing? I'm going to be taking off all the coils and spark plugs, flywheel, clutch, all coming off. Maybe even the oil cooler, and then obviously the wiring harness is coming off. And once all those parts are off, I'm going to make a list of all the parts that I need to purchase. I have a really good idea already what I need to purchase, but I want to wait till the engines are stripped to give me a much better idea of what parts I need. I don't want to order parts twice if I don't have to. And the most important job on the flat damaged motor that I'm going to be putting into the black one is I will change the infamous IMS bearing, which is located just behind this flywheel here. So I've purchased the tools already. I managed to get the tools on Kijiji, so I have the actual LN engineering tools to replace the intermediate shaft bearing. So that's going to be another bunch of videos that are going to be posting on YouTube, because if you're watching this video on YouTube, then there should be other videos on YouTube as well. So that's where I'm at. Stage both motors on this stacked plywood, which is the exact same height as the motorcycle jack, so it's just able to very easily slide it over. So now both motors are securely staged, resting on the plywood. and I can just very easily take all the parts off it and start malarkeying around. Have this car back and running soon. I mean, it's still freezing cold outside, so I'm not any major rush to get this project done. I don't want to have this endless project sitting in my garage. I just want to get this done and get the car on the road, drive, and then endeavor into some of my other projects that I have. I hope you guys find these videos helpful. My intention for these videos are solely for you guys to learn and hopefully endeavor into a project like this on your own, because I'm pretty sure if you are a Porsche mechanic, you're not watching this, and I just wanted to take it down a level and kind of show that it's a car, it's a Porsche, don't be intimidated by them. At the end of the day, it's a bucket of bolts, 10,000 moving parts, and if you watch the videos leading up to this, then you'll have known and seen that it's not that difficult to get to this stage of getting the engines out and staged. At the end of the day, I want to rebuild the engine with the AMS bearing issue, and also want to video and record and put them on YouTube. Let's just do one thing at a time, and that is to get this black one running, and then I'm going to worry about rebuilding the other engines. Without further ado, show must go on, and gonna go get moving here. Okay, so let's hop to it.